Yes, I am. So thank you for joining me. It's lovely to have such a full class this morning. So again, what I thought I'd do is do this whole session without the mat. Totally fine for you guys to use your mats. Some of us like to have that kind of space so we know where we are, which is front and back and sides. I just find at home, especially if I'm trying to record myself, I can't always get the right angle or the right position. I have to move sideways, forwards. So I thought if I don't use a mat, then that's fine. And of course, we've all normally got carpet, so I'm not. I'm also not using regular props per se. I've got a little board, just a 99p one for the gas station, cushion. I've got a belt that came out of a pair of shorts that I didn't like the belt, but love the shorts. So we don't always have to have all the equipment at home either. Although having said that, you do know I do sell it at the studio. So let's begin. We're going to start in a lying down position, supine. Don't worry if I can't see you, as long as you can see me. And if you wouldn't mind, I'd be happy if you muted. I haven't muted you, so if you want to mute your phones now, if you do need to ask me any questions or you want some further instructions, then just unmute yourself and have a little chat, whatever works for you, okay? So we're going to lie down, whichever position you choose, and just take a few moments here. And again, if you've got a cushion, you may want to put it behind your head. You may want to put it underneath your lower back, maybe. That may be nice to kind of keep it nice and settled, just whatever works for you. And we're just going to take a few moments just to drop in. So find a position, legs will be straight, they can be bent. Make sure the spine feels nice and aligned. Draw the chin in, broaden the shoulders. Hands resting maybe on your belly or beside you, whatever feels appropriate for you. And just take half a dozen or so breaths here. Just literally every breath you take, try to imagine you're going a little bit deeper, as if you're following your breath into your beautiful bodies. Noticing how that feels, the beginning of the softening, the letting go, the releasing, whatever expression, whatever word works for you. Be aware of where your body is touching the floor, and equally be aware of the spaces between your body and Mother Earth beneath us. And we'll come back to our breath a little bit more in a moment, but for now just move your head very gently from side to side, just checking out how that feels. Really super slow movements. Maybe lift the head up, draw the chin in a little bit more, see if you can feel that gentle stretch in the back of your neck. Just tuck the shoulder blades under, maybe take them a little bit away from your ears. Let the lower back soften. Notice if you can feel the natural curvature of your spine. We always want to be aware of that. Feel the balance of your pelvic girdle. Maybe check the alignment. Maybe you feel one side of your body feels a bit shorter than the other. And again, if your legs are extended, then just feel the back of your legs softening into the ground. If your knees are bent, then allow the soles of your feet to just soften. Toe pads. Notice the arch of your foot. Notice where your hands are resting. If they're on the carpet, maybe palms up, palms down, maybe they're resting on your belly. Again, just be aware of the sensations of your body. Notice your mind. How does it feel? They're kind of crazy times that we're in at the moment. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm on a bit of a roller coaster. Some days I feel like I can cope with it all. It's all okay. This is now the new normal. And then other days I just lose the plot and I spend most of the day crying, not being sure where I'm going, who am I, what am I going to do, the future, what is it, what does it involve? And I think it's okay to feel that kind of little seesaw of emotions sometimes. Acknowledging them, knowing that it's okay. We know that, it's like every night is dark, every morning is a bit lighter. It's the same with our lives at the moment. It's constantly changing. And we are ever more invited to go with the flow. So try to be an observer of your thoughts rather than involved in each and every one of them. Maybe notice the thoughts of the anxieties, the fears, the unknown. Again, acknowledge them. But try to make sure that we then draw our awareness away from them. There's a danger at the moment that we may spend way too much time in that fight or flight mode. not knowing what our future holds, being anxious to that elevated state. And we know that we need to come into this rest and restore that helps to boost the immune system, and it calms us down. It helps us to stay centered, and hopefully our yoga practice will do that. Notice any little niggles in your body. Remember, we come to the mat with the body that we woke up with this morning. So whatever feels tight, we'll try to open it, but don't push your bodies. Be kind, be gentle to yourself. Draw the chin in. We're just going to take another handful of breaths here. Suggestion now is to rest your hands on your belly. And I'd like us to sink our breath into our belly as if we're going to miss the ribs completely. No, we call it belly breathing. We all know that's not where the breath is. But the diaphragm stretching right down, taut as a drum, creates this wonderful swelling in the belly, really drawing that deep breath in. So in your own time, 6 deep breaths in. We can exhale through the mouth or the nose, whatever works for you. Maybe finding your Ujjayi breath so we can focus on the sound of your breath as well as the sense of it. And really let it be a deep breath. Allow the ribs to move a little bit, but let the whole focus be on your belly. Puff it up like a beach ball, don't be shy. Follow your breath in. Allow your attention, your focus to go with your breath. Allow the energy to go with your breath. Drawing the prana in. And remember, your exhales, your chance to let go of some of those fears and anxieties. Remember the lovely saying, we embrace the things we can change and we try to let go of the things we can't change. At the moment, we are really in that position of not being able to change a whole bunch, except how we respond, how we react, how we live through this time. And then slowly let's just begin to move our move our head a little bit. If you've got the room, then have a lovely stretch out. If you haven't, then just maybe stretch the legs out if they were bent, and then bend the knees and maybe stretch the arms out. Just use whatever space you have available to you. Slowly draw one leg in. I'm going to draw my right leg in, up to you which leg you use. Left leg can stay bent or straight. Up to the ceiling with it. A few little ankle rolls here, just releasing any tightness there. And then just bend the knee, draw the thigh in towards your body, and then reach up as if you're trying to reach up through that heel. Just 2 more times. Thigh to the belly, bend the knee, extend up through that heel, toes to the knee. One last time. Perfect. And then right hand, right knee, and just a few little circular motions. Just checking out how that feels. Again, 3 is perfect in each direction. Making sure there's no clicking or any discomfort. Remember, make it sure it's comfortable. Draw that leg in. If the left leg isn't extended, let's extend it now. And just stay here. Toes pointing up to the ceiling. Draw the chin in, shoulders away from your ears. Lift this right knee right up towards your collarbone and extend that left heel away even further. Almost feel you've got that little tilt in your pelvic girdle. Slowly and gently bend the left leg, foot on the ground, right foot on the ground, and just take a few moments. And hopefully already there's a bit of a difference there between the legs. So let's go to the other side. Draw the left leg in. The right leg can stay bent or extended, whatever feels right for you this morning. Up to the ceiling, holding the leg behind your thigh. Point the toes, a few little ankle rolls. Again, 3 or 4 in each direction will be fine. Maybe eyeball this. I spent the first little while of my yoga practice not making the circle, just waving the toes around. Next, the 3 movements, going to bring the left thigh in towards the belly, flex through the left foot and up to the ceiling. Slowly bend the knee, thigh towards the ribs, up towards the ceiling, draw the toes right down towards that left knee. Really feel, you can feel the tightness, the movement going on deep in your leg by holding the thigh here. Perfect. And then left hand, left knee. Just do 3 circles in each direction. Just working our way up through the 3 weight-bearing joints in our amazing bodies. Unwind whenever you're ready. Draw that leg in again. And again, if we haven't already extended the right leg, let's do so now. All of your toes standing to attention. Draw the chin in, shoulders away from your ears. Lift this left knee up towards your collarbone. Extend out a little bit further with that right heel if you can. Feel that little tilt in the hips in the other direction now. Slowly bend the right knee, foot on the floor, left foot back on the ground, and hopefully we've got a little sense of balance here. And then casually just begin by swaying those knees from left to right. Just gently rocking from the inside to the outside of each of your feet, maybe letting the head move in the opposite direction. And gradually slow and lengthen and widen these movements so let the breath become a bit longer. Let those legs fall away a little bit further. Just notice how you feel. And remember, you can go as far as you want to go. You can kind of encourage those legs to go right over to the ground if you wanted to. They don't have to. If it feels good just to do a gentle rock and rolling, then please feel free to do that. Maybe let your hands come on those lower ribs in the front of your body to see if you can isolate this movement in the lower part of your body so the rib cage isn't rolling over with us. Just one more in each direction. However deep you need this to be, it's totally fine. Perfect. Draw one knee in and the other leg in and just hug them in, lifting up through the head and shoulders, maybe curling up like a ball. Perfect. So up to the ceiling with both of our legs. Just keep those big toe mounds together. I'm going to support the back of my right thigh here as I just slowly lower the left leg down. Just lightly brush the heel against the floor and gently float it back up again. Just change hands, change sides. Let the right leg float down as you hold on to the left leg and slowly and gently come back up. If that's a bit too strong, then just bend the left leg a little bit as you're lowering it down. All right, listen to your body. Remember your uniqueness. And then we're just going to do one more on both sides. So in your own time, if you're struggling, take it easy. Remember to breathe in, breathing out as you lower that leg down. Imagine the string in your belly, lifting that leg up so we're very aware of the work of the psoas muscles. One last time. Perfect. Slowly and gently hug those legs in and allow the feet to come down to the ground. Take the arms out as wide as you can. Use the space you have around you. If it's not much, it's fine. You can always bend the elbows, bring the fingertips back to the shoulders. And we're going to just keep the toes together, keep the knees together, and allow those knees to fall over to the right hand side. And just come into a bit of a twist. Maybe gently rock here a little bit, lift up a little bit, drop it back down again. Again, the idea isn't necessarily to get this right knee on the ground. Our whole point is to keep the left shoulder on the floor. You might be able to maybe bring the right hand onto the left thigh. Maybe that stretches a little bit more through the waist, through the obliques. Slowly and gently lifting up through. Keep the legs together though. See if we can keep them clamped together. So as you send the knees to the left, then you'll notice my right foot stays stacked on top of the left foot. So the inside of both my feet are still touching. Again, feeling the stretch here, chin to the right shoulder maybe. Maybe bring the hand if you can reach. I've got quite long arms, I can reach my right thigh. I can maybe encourage a slightly deeper twist if I wanted to. Slowly and gently come back up to centre. Fabulous. Just take a few moments here. We're going to widen the feet again. If you've got a mat, take the feet as wide as your mat. If you haven't got a mat, then just widen your feet. Feel the freedom of not being so constrained by this rectangle that we tend to work with. Just kind of explore. There's enough restraints on us at the moment without restraining ourselves on the mat and in our yoga practice. So gently sway those knees side to side. The feet are nice and wide, wider than your shoulders probably. And again, there's a lovely, every time you send the knees, if the knees go to the right, my left front of my thigh, I really feel that lovely stretch there through the hip flexors. A little bit beginning to go work through the quads. Perfect. And then walk those feet back together. Just take a few moments here. Move the head a little bit if you want. Just check it out. So we're going to come into a very gentle bridge pose, and it will be gentle. We'll come back to this probably later, but let's just use this as a warming up. We've done the lower part of our body right down to our hips and our waist. Let's move this energy up to our shoulders and the upper back and chest. So feet coming in towards your bottom, hands coming down towards your heels, shoulders tucked under, but without necessarily narrowing your back. Draw the chin in. And again, just begin with your pelvic tilts, just nice and gently. Slowly, slowly, you feel as if you're pushing every vertebrae into the floor before you lift it up. And just gradually feel the lightness here. We're tucking the tailbone under, remember. We're bringing the pubic bone towards the sternum. We're drawing the navel in. We're allowing the hip flexors, the pubic bone, and the front of your thighs to get that lovely lift up towards the ceiling. And just come up as high as you feel you need to. When you've got there, then we're just going to do 5 more. That's all, just nice and easy. Shifting the weight back into your shoulders, sending the knees across the other room. That lovely analogy, like a string of pearls, as you slowly, slowly float your vertebrae down to the ground, rib by rib, vertebrae by vertebrae. So keeping this contraction through the belly until the very last second when the tailbone floats down. One more time. So we feel now we're kind of shifting the energy. We're shifting our attention coming up towards the shoulders maybe. Fabulous. Broaden the shoulders when you come down. Move the head a little bit. And just take a few moments here. I like to feel that warmth in my back. Some of it's from the massaging against the floor. Some of it's the energy just being released from those knots and tensions there. And then slowly draw one leg in. As long as your leg feels okay, then we can draw the other leg in. Just making sure that the back feels happy. Just hug them and lifting the tailbone up and rolling it back down maybe. So while we're here with our feet off the ground, let's do one more twist before we come up. So arms out to the side. Maybe take your right hand onto your left knee and guide those legs over. Now what we may want to do is support them with your hand, so you can kind of relax here. Some of you may need to go all the way over. We're all different, remember. But try to keep the feet touching, try to keep the knees stacked just as best as you can. And take 5 big breaths here. So it's really quite hard to sink the breath down, but really do the best you can. Super deep twist. I like my supine twists. I find them a lot not easier to do. I find them more beneficial sometimes than the seated ones. More accessible. There we go, that's the word I was looking for. Whenever you're ready, maybe both legs together, or take that right hand under the left leg. The right leg will lift up because the way our body is jointed. Come back to centre, feet on the ground, realign through the spine. Draw the knees and the feet together again, and let's go to the other side. So keep this right shoulder grounded. Go over as far as you can, supporting the legs with your left hand if you'd like to. If you're able to go all the way over, that's awesome. Just whatever feels right for you. Again, just take those 5 deep breaths. Feel that twist and the stretch wrapping itself around your body from the upper back, wrapping around the ribs and through the waist, through the belly, the lower back. And you may find I'm going a little bit deeper just without even trying. Just breath and gravity doing the work for me. Again, maybe take that left hand under the right knee to lift it up. Lift up both legs together if you prefer. Totally up to you, whatever you feel like doing. Feet back on the ground, realign through the spine. Take a few moments here and just take a few breaths. Perfect. We're going to draw those knees into our chest, lifting up through the head and shoulders. Remember, we can just tuck our hands behind the back of the knees. You can cross the ankles over, whichever works for you, and roll yourself up. Fabulous. And just take a few moments here. So we're going to come into a seated position. So take your time. Find whatever position works for you. And And if you have got a strap, we could use it now. If you haven't got one, it's totally fine. We're going to do a little bit of shoulder work, so sometimes the strap comes in handy. Again, you could use a belt, a tie, your cat. Not going to go there, Emma. But yeah, so we could use whatever we wanted to. So let's see. So first of all, we're going to just do some work with our shoulders. So we're just going to open them up very gently. Take the hands out beside you. Find whatever seated position. My right knee's going to be a bit of grief today, so I'm going to keep it extended as I draw the left foot in. Hands out beside you. As you inhale, lift the arms up. Turn the palms round and exhale. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, coming up. And exhale. Almost imagine you're trying to lift your fingertips away from the ground. Let them touch. And then you've got to push down through, I don't know, peanut butter or chocolate sauce, trying to come down. So we're really using all of the muscles in your arms. It's not just a casual affair. Slowly come back down. Give yourself a little hug. Really round those shoulders, and then imagine you're trying to draw the elbows down towards the floor or down towards your belly. Inhale, lift the arms up and bring them back down again. Fabulous. Wrap the arms around the other way this time, the other elbow on top. And again, as you exhale, try to imagine you're trying to touch the floor or draw the elbows right into your belly. Really feel the space between your shoulder blades. And then inhale whenever you're ready, lift up through those arms and bring them down beside you. Fabulous. So I'm going to lift up through the left arm and try to kind of bring it up so you really feel the triceps here. Bending the elbow, bringing the hand probably to the middle of your back. It's probably normally where it goes. If you wanted to go a little bit more towards the right shoulder, then remember we can just hold on to the elbow, upper arm, elbow, lower arm as well, and just rotate the upper arm bone, the humerus bone. And maybe that brings that hand, the fingertips, a little bit away from the central position. Taking the hand onto the top, just lifting up a little bit, trying to keep the body nice and still. Keep the head in alignment, keep lifting up through this elbow, so really stretching here. And then slowly and gently just release. Just take a few seconds there, check it in. We're going to go to the other side. So lifting up through the right arm. Again, bending the elbow. If you want to go a little bit more, hold on to the elbow. Really kind of cup it with your whole hand. Slowly rotate a little bit to take the hand away from the middle of your back, so it's going to go floating a bit more towards your right shoulder. I find this got a bit tighter on this side. And again, just go as far as you can. Notice any twisting through the body, any rounding or arching of your back. And just take a few moments here. Fabulous. Lifting it up and then slowly releasing it. Perfect. So we're going to come to our figure of 8. Now, if you have got a strap or anything that you can use to kind of join your hands, even a t-shirt or even hold on to your shirt, then we're going to come back to the left arm again. We're going to lift the arm up. I'm going to imagine that I've got a strap here, so I'm going to bring my arm up. Oops, I need it on that side. Sorry, so strap on the right side, right arm comes up, and just kind of hold on to the strap. If I just turn sideways or backwards, maybe you can see, just kind of hold on to the strap wherever you can. Take this hand round and really kind of open up through the shoulders a few times. Tuck it in, hold on to the bottom of the strap, and you can slowly walk your hands up to kind of meet each other. Maybe lift up with the top hand, maybe pull down with the bottom hand. So you're slowly bringing those fingers. Some of you may be able to clasp your fingers totally happily. I used to be able to, but I can't now. And just go wherever you can. So you can visualize why it's called the figure of 8. It's the position we're making with our shoulders, our upper arms. Sitting up as tall as you can. Feel that you're bringing the lower back towards that hand that's behind you. Lifting up through this upper arm. And every now and again, kind of walk your hands a bit closer. If you can hold on to your fingers, maybe grab hold of your wrist. We're all different, remember. Just go where you feel that resistance. One more breath here. Slowly, slowly, slowly and gently, just release. If you have got the strap, just put it over the other shoulder. If you haven't, it's totally fine. Just bring those hands back, interlace your fingers, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Take the hands out in front of you, interlace your fingers, push those hands away, round through the back. And just take a little breath here. And just notice how the shoulders feel. Any difference at all? So going to the other side, lifting up now through the other arm, bringing the hand back again, maybe grabbing hold of your t-shirt, bringing the other arm round. Just take a few moments here to kind of open up through that shoulder and then bring it back behind you. And again, holding on wherever you can. If you can interlace your fingers, that's perfect. Just maybe catch your fingertips, holding onto your shirt, this belt, the tie, whatever it is you've got here. Slowly and gently lifting up through this elbow towards the ceiling. Try to make sure the head stays in the same position. One more big breath here, lifting up. And slowly and gently release. Take those hands back behind you again, interlace your fingers, open up through the front of your body. And slowly and gently interlace your fingers round through the front now, squeezing those hands away, dropping the head down and checking out how you feel. A few little shoulder rolls, move the head around a little bit and just check out how you feel. Perfect. So we're going to come gently onto our hands and our knees. So again, whenever you're ready, wrists under shoulders is the alignment cue. That's fabulous if it works for you. If it doesn't, then again, you could maybe come up onto your fists. You could use that edge of the cushion maybe. You may need another cushion for your knees. So just take it easy. Knees wide apart, toes tucked under or flat, and just begin our cat-cow movements. It's a lovely position to flex and extend through the spinal column. And it kind of makes us more aware of the connection between the shoulders and the hips. It's like our spine is like the bridge that joins everything together. Just rounding up and down. And again, the breath doesn't really matter if you're breathing in when you round the back or out. Again, just be curious maybe, just notice, just one more time. And then come back to what you feel is a neutral spine view. So kind of draw the navel in a little bit, let the ears come up towards the ceiling, kind of feel at the back of the neck lifting up a little bit. It's always a bit scary when I do this because I have no idea if I'm in the right position, but it feels like I am. And then very slowly, keeping your hands where they are, flatten through the feet if they were tucked under, and just bring your hips back. Keep the hands exactly where they were. So the hips may not touch your heels, doesn't matter. And just feel this stretch through. And then we're going to round ourselves forward. So arch through the back as you let the collarbone and the chin come forwards and come back to that neutral spine. Draw the navel in, round through the back. Let the sitting bones come back down towards your heels. Allow the chest to come forward. Soften the elbows. Probably don't drop them right down to the ground. It's a bit hard to lift them up. If you do that, slowly come forwards, chin and collarbone in front. One more time, rounding up through the back. Slowly, as if your gaze is going forwards towards the front of you, up towards the ceiling, allowing the chest to come forwards. Perfect. Now make sure you've got room to extend out front and back. So it doesn't matter if I can't see you, just find that space. It's great to have all of you joining me this morning, thank you. So whenever you're ready, diagonal stretching. Those of you that joined me Wednesday afternoon, we did this on our back. Now we can do it on our knees. So we're going to extend out through opposite arm and leg. Try to keep the navel drawn in. Slowly come back down as you exhale. Inhale, take the other knee and the other arm out. Keep the head down in line with the upper arm. And just 2 more times on both sides, but really extend out as if you're winding your fingers and your toes as far away from you as possible and slowly coming back in. Doesn't matter which side you're doing, doesn't matter which way you're going, as long as we're doing it diagonally. It's really hard to do the same side, trust me. So when you've done those 3 on both sides, we're just going to change a little bit. So we're going to stretch out arm and leg, and then bring the elbow and the knee together. Arm and leg, stretching out, elbow, knee together. Curl up, drop the head right down. One more time. Hand and knee down to the ground, and then let's go to the other side. So stretching out, trying to keep that straight line through the body. Bring the elbow, the knee together, rounding up, head tucked under. Inhale, stretching out. Exhale, coming back. One more time. Hands and knees down. Fabulous. Okay, we're going to try one more variation of this. Before we do that, let's come down onto our elbows. Do a few little wrist curls. Do that dry hand washing. Maybe massage that thumb joint. Remember, some of these you can do on your elbows. We could have done that on our elbows if that helps protect your wrists. So coming back up, we just got one more variation of that. So we're going to extend out through arm and leg. And then you're going to bend the knee and take the hand back to try and touch your foot. Stretching forwards. Coming back, trying to touch that foot. Stretching forwards again, really lengthen out, and then come back, try to touch hold of that foot, and if you can, do this little push up with your foot, opening up through the shoulder and the opposite hip. Slowly and gently come back down, and then let's go to the other side. So we're going to extend out, and then bring the hand back to touch the foot. Inhale, extending out, hands back to touch the foot. One more time. And again, if you're able to, I've got long arms, okay? Extend out through that foot, lift up, get a lovely stretch through the shoulder and through the thigh. Slowly and gently release. Widen those knees a little bit. If you want to bring that cushion between your hips and your heels, we can. One potato, two potato, hands underneath your forehead. Maybe you're happy to bring your hands and head to the floor. Just take a few breaths here. Maybe feel a bit of energy, a bit of warmth, shoulders, hips, back. Maybe the heart's beating, a little bit more aware of it. Maybe your breath becoming a little bit shallow. Just a couple more breaths. Really let go. Feel that lovely, especially the lumbar spine, but the whole spine relaxing here in this rounded position. And remember to try to breathe into your back at least once a day. Try to take a dozen or so breaths into the back of your body. So we're expanding through the ribs there, using the intercostal muscles in the back. We've also got the latissimus dorsi muscles. We've got so many different muscles. Your trapezius muscles in the upper back, they're actually expanding as well when we breathe into the back of our body. Perfect. And then slowly and gently, let's bring ourselves back up. Fabulous. So again, tucking the toes under. Now, if you are on the carpet like I am, and you're a bit concerned about doing the down dog, then let it be a little bit shorter. Okay, everyone all right? So toes tucked under, lifting up through those hips, and just kind of walk it out. Perfect. Don't be shy, bend the knees, give those hips a little bit of a wiggle. And then if we like, we can lift up through that right leg, and we're going to step it forwards. Again, the beauty about not having a mat, doesn't matter if it goes out to the side, we just change the position we're in. If you prefer to come down onto your knees and step that right foot forwards, totally fine. Hands either side of it, just have a little play here. Coming into your runner's stretch, you may want that cushion under that left knee. By all means, do whatever feels right for you. And as we come forwards, just take your hands up onto your thigh. And as we come forwards, imagine there's that straight line between your tailbone and the crown of your head. So as you come forwards more into that lunge, we're not actually leaning forwards. We're going to do that in a moment, but for now, keep the body upright. Foot could be tucked under or flat, whatever works for you. As you come forwards, this time just lift up through those arms, coming into your crescent moon. Slowly and gently come back down. Hands come back down, we come back. Inhale, coming up again. Begin the heart lifting if you can. Gaze on the floor. Whoops, if you're a bit wobbly, like I am this morning. Inhale, coming up. Maybe bring the hands together if that's available to you. If not, have them wide. We're all different, remember. And then stretch those arms out, and then let's just lean forwards. Resting your body on that front thigh. Just resting forwards. Drop the head down so it's between your upper arms. Let's take a couple of breaths here. And then on your next inhale, lift up into your crescent moon again. Bring those hands back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Open up through the heart center, draw the shoulders down. And again, come forwards, lifting up through the arms. Let your gaze go down, your drishti go down to your toes. Draw the chin in a little bit, maybe keep that alignment through the spine. And slowly and gently release. Hands down. Let's bring that right hand on the inside of that right leg to stretch it or slide it back and come back into your child's pose. So modify your child's pose to work for you. Knees apart, knees together, head supporting by your hands on the floor, whatever works for you. So let's go to the other side. So stretching the hands out again, bring those knees in a little bit, tucking the toes under, and coming back into your downward facing dog. And again, just kind of walking it out, release through the neck a little bit. So we know that the left leg has to come forwards this time. So if you prefer just to drop down onto your right knee, step it forwards. Otherwise we can lift up through that left leg and step it forwards. And find where you need to be. You may have to move a little bit side, but you know what, I'm not that bothered about that. I'm concerned that we're getting this flowing, working with our breath, playing around a bit with how our body feels. Maybe we've got that cushion under your right knee now, it's totally fine. Whatever feels right for you. And as you slowly come forwards this time, hands on that left thigh. Again, remember the alignment of your body to begin with. Let's keep it upright. So we're bringing the both points of your hips forwards. The tailbone's dropping down to the floor in both of those positions. And just come as far forward as you need to. Some people can come really super forward. Just make sure the knee stays above the ankle of the front leg. Next time you come forwards, lift up through those arms. Gaze can go in front of you, to the ceiling, to the floor. Exhale, come back, drop the arms down. Inhale, come forwards, maybe lifting up to the ceiling. Exhale, coming back. One more time. Bring the hands together if that works for you. Let's just stay here for a couple of breaths. Arms could be wide. And then bring the arms so they're almost parallel if you can. And rest your body on this left thigh. Drop the head down so the ears are between the upper arms. You'd always lift up through that back knee if you wanted to. Tuck the right toes under, lift it up. Slowly in your own time, come back up again into your crescent moon. Bring those hands back behind you, interlace your fingers, lifting up through, and slowly and gently come back again. Gaze to the floor, to your toes, draw the chin in, lift up through those arms. And slowly take your hands down on the inside and gently bring those legs back. Coming back one more time into your child's pose, whichever position works for you. A few deep breaths. If you feel the warmth across your shoulders maybe, and the hips and the thighs, the front of your thighs. Feel the warmth of the front of your body meeting those quads. Notice how that feels. And then from this position, we're going to go to our prone position. So slowly and gently, just lay yourself down. You can go into plank if you wanted to. And slowly come down. And again, make a little pillow to rest your head on. I'm just going to turn around here a bit, make sure you can see me. And just going to rock those hips a bit from side to side. Remembering that just in this position, your lumbar spine is a little bit more arched than it normally is. So we want to try to send the tailbone towards your heels. So we do that by drawing the pubic bone out towards your navel, tailbone drops down. So I can feel that my kind of lumbar spine is actually lifted up a little bit. So see if we can try to maintain that position. We're going to bring the hands underneath our shoulders, roll the shoulders away. Again, draw the chin in, keep the head in line. And on your next inhale, roll those shoulders and slide them down your back. Slowly and gently coming back down. Maybe lay the toes flat and push into the floor as well. Remember this time, bring the arms up to show that we're not actually using our hands to push. And just one more time. If you're comfortable coming all the way up, then please do. There's nothing to stop you coming into your full King Cobra. Baby Cobra is just as good for our upper back muscles and our shoulders. Slowly and gently come back down. Make a little platform. Rest your head on it. Maybe bend the knees. Rock those hips a little bit from side to side. And remember, if you want to release the back a little bit more, bend the knee out 90 degrees. Turn your head in that direction. And that just really releases through the SI joint, the sacroiliac joint. Take a few breaths there. We don't need to do the other side of this now because we're going to do one more prone position and then we can do it on the other side. So coming back down, we're going to bring our hands back behind us, interlacing our fingers. Again, this may be where you want to hold on to a strap if you can't hold on to your hands, if your shoulders are tight. Roll the shoulders away from the floor, draw them down your spine. Again, extend out through the legs, draw the pubic bone up to support your lower back. In your own time, imagine I'm going to come around and I'm going to lift up through your hands and gently ease them backwards. Slowly and gently come back down. So if you try to keep your feet on the ground if you can, push down with the tops of your feet. Inhale again, come up. And exhale, slowly soften. If you could do one more, that's fabulous. If your back's telling you it's had enough, listen to your body. Remember, your body be the best teacher you ever have. Slowly and gently come back down. Release the hands. Again, maybe just rock the hips. Maybe sway those knees. If you took the knee out to the other side on the first side, then maybe do it on this side too. Turn your head towards your elbow. Just take a few moments here. Just checking how you feel. Slowly come back to center, hands underneath your shoulders. Come up through the cobra, into plank, into your downward dog, and just give that back a good stretch. Downward dog is one of the best positions for our spine. Really stretch it out. And then slowly walk your feet halfway up towards your hands. Allow the hands to come back towards your feet. Bending those knees, remember, supporting the lower back. Let the crown of the head come down, give a little shake, little nod, and then push the floor away as you stack those vertebrae, really coming up gently, one at a time, all the way up to Tadasana, our standing pose. Fabulous. So very slowly here, I've no idea if I'm all in the picture, I haven't actually got myself on the screen here, but I think I am. So we're going to just turn the toes in just slightly, get a nice kind of firm stand here, so I'll give you all a chance to. So it doesn't matter if I can't see you, as long as you can see me. Have enough room around you, we're just going to do a few stretches here. Inhale, lifting up. And exhale, slowly bringing those arms back down. Just two more times. Really bend the knees. Inhale, lift up. Maybe a bit of a back bend at the top here if you're happy doing that. Exhale, come down again. Bend those knees. Inhale. And exhale. And then slowly, the hips, I want you to imagine that the hips almost don't belong to you, that they're completely still. And you're just going to do a little side bend. Just relax the arms. And then slowly and gently come back up. Go to the side. So really feel the obliques here. Remember, they're contracting on one side. And then they're opening on the other. Come back up. So that's the only thing where we're not using our momentum. We're not pulling, we're not pushing. If you wanted to, you could lift up through the opposite arm. Bringing it down. Really kind of imagine that you're working against some other force. So that's going to create, rather than just reaching the arm up, we're really kind of extending it out Just one more time. Go as deep as you need to. If your shoulder doesn't like being lifted up, then just let the arms stay down by your side. Really draw the navel in, feel all the muscles, the QL muscles in your lumbar spine, the abdominal muscles. Feel them all working here. Come back to centre, fabulous. Soften the knees a little bit here. And just very gently just twist. Again, it's the rib cage coming round. The hip creases, the hip flexors are still facing forwards. Imagine I've got headlights on my side of my hips. They're still facing you. So now again, can you feel all those muscles? All those wonderful supportive muscles. Just going to feel the rib cage. The rib cage is taking the shoulders and the head round. You're not moving the head, moving the shoulders. It's literally, it's all generating from that lower rib. Doesn't have to be a big movement as long as we're feeling it, remember. And slowly and gently come back to centre. Perfect. And then just widen your feet a little bit more, wider than your shoulders. Just have a little shake out here, maybe. Just have a little wiggle, shake it all about. Do the okey cokey. And then as if you're one of those inflated kind of wind things, we're just going to literally collapse down, but don't go straight down. So if you just kind of collapse down as if you're suddenly being deflated, all the air's leaving you, keep those knees soft, arms relaxed, and just meander your way down into this forward fold. Keep the thighs supporting the body, keep the knees soft, head down to the floor, give a little shake, and then just as meandering, come back up again. Over to the right, maybe over to the left, back over to the right. Just feel that you're just kind of being filled up from the soles of your feet. Let's do that one more time. So imagine every part of you is falling out of the soles of your feet. So you can't help but you just begin to collapse a bit. Knees are going, shoulders rolling from one side to the other. Back is beautifully stretched. There's no extra strain on it there. Slowly come down. This time hold on to your elbows. Tuck the head between your elbows. And gently sway your body a bit like a pendulum from side to side. Slowly, gently release those arms, and again, coming up the scenic route, over to one side, soften the knees, begin to feel all of your energy, your very essence, all of you coming in through the soles of your feet, firing you up, energizing as you come right the way up, and coming back to Tadasana. Bring those feet a little bit closer together. Let's bring our hands to our heart center, plug those tips of your thumbs into your hearts. Draw the chin in so you can try to let your body get that perfect alignment. Knees slightly soft, tailbone to the ground, crown of the head to the ceiling, little golden thread there, lifting it up. And just draw in a sense of gratitude. And let it be fun. I'm grateful my hair is my natural colour. I don't have to worry about my roots. There's something to be grateful for right there. I'm grateful I don't rely on people to cut my toenails or my fingernails and paint them with nail polish. I do that myself. So it's suddenly reminding me how self-sufficient I am, and I am grateful for that too. So remember, not all of our gratitude needs to be deeply rooted in deep, meaningful, spiritual things. It can be things like, wow, I'm so glad I don't rely on that. I don't need a haircut. I'm happy to let it grow. It can be simple day-to-day things that just remind us that every day is a good day in some way. So in your own time, I'm going to invite you to come down to the floor. We're going to come down gently into lying down on our backs to do some, if you prefer to sit, it's totally fine. We're going to do a few little knee hugs, one little twist on both sides, and then the invitation will be to come into your position for Shavasana. So whatever that might be, if you feel you're going to want a blanket, please have one handy. If you would like to get your block, your cushion, whatever it is. So slowly coming back down onto the floor, rolling yourself back down, and again just allow your body to enjoy being in this supine position. Maybe just move the head, maybe do the rocking of the knees, maybe you didn't even know your body was doing it, but it just did it naturally. Draw those knees in towards the chest, hug them in, Again, if you want to lift the head up towards the knees, then you can. If you're happy, shoulders, head on the floor, then stay here. Feet down to the ground. Remember earlier we said we may come back and do our bridge pose. Let's do one now. We go straight up into it. I think our back and everything is happy. Heels in towards your bottom, hands down as if you're trying to touch them. Draw the chin in. Whenever you're ready, scoot your pubic bone up to the ceiling. Tuck the tailbone under. Send the knees away from you. Maybe have a little roll here. If you want to stay here, remember those robot arms where we bend the elbows. If you want to stay here for a couple of seconds, you can also bring the arms underneath you, interlace your fingers. Just make sure those knees don't collapse out. Just kind of keep the thighs parallel to each other. Draw the navel in. And then in your own time, just slowly and gently soften. Done a lot of work with our back. It's just nice just to open the front of our body as well before we come to Shavasana. Find your position. Invitation is do whatever twist works for you. I'd like to suggest that maybe we extend out through the right leg, bend up through the left knee and roll over onto our right hip. If you prefer to do both legs together, then do. Your left big toe doesn't have to touch the floor. Your left knee may not touch the floor. I have several people I know who can. I can't, but that's fine. But I'm feeling the stretch. My left shoulder is on the floor. It's a beautiful twist and a stretch. And I'm feeling it in my glutes and in my IT band, in that left hip and thigh and buttock as well. Again, a couple of breaths. Maybe notice on your exhale that perhaps it softens a little bit further over. And then hand underneath the knee, lifting it back up, rolling back. Nice and controlled. Don't just collapse back. Feet bent. Sorry, not feet bent. Knees bent. Feet on the ground. Take a few moments so you can feel the difference between your sides. Extend out through the other leg. Bend the knee in and guide it over to the opposite side. So I know we get confused sometimes between our right and our left. As long as we've done both sides, it's fine. I'm getting cramped there a little bit. There we go. And again, so notice where you feel it. SI joint, sacrum having a good stretch, buttocks, thighs, hips, all of these areas. Just kind of breathe into it, soften it, keep the opposite shoulder on the ground. This is your anchor to Mother Earth. So its point is kind of coming over here because now I've lost that stretch completely. So anchor the shoulder to the ground, go away from you as far as you can, far as feels comfortable. Hand under the leg, lift it back up again. Slowly rolling back, both feet on the ground. Realign through the spine, broaden the shoulders, draw the chin in. Take a few moments here before we do anything else. Noticing your breath, noticing your thoughts. Notice how you feel. And it may be that this is your position for Shavasana, right here. If you prefer to find another position, then please do. Remember, there are so many. Whatever works for you. You could lift your legs up, put them on the side of the bed or the chair. You could come into plow position. You come into a shoulder stand if you want. Just whatever feels right for you. But just gradually find yourself somewhere that you can let go again. Taking your time to find that beautiful position that just works for you. Nobody else. It's your secret position. And as you do settle into that position, then just notice how you feel right now. Notice again the travel of your thoughts. Just try not to get too involved in them. Feel the air just very gently moving in and out through the nostrils, through the airways into your lungs. And again, even with your gentle, soft breath, allow your exhale to be one of release, one of softening, of letting go. Here I am right now, this moment. There is nothing other than this moment, really. This is the only experience we ever have, is by being present in this moment. Everything else is already in our history, and everything else, as we know, is in our future. We can guide our future. We can decide how we're going to act in it, but we can't actually decide how it's going to go. So I think at the moment especially there's a very deep element of trust and faith that everything will be all right. There's a lovely expression, everything will be all right in the end. If it's not all right, then it's not the end. So just follow the flow of your breath as you give yourself permission to completely and utterly and totally let go. If your mind wanders, it's totally fine, that's its job. Don't get annoyed with yourself. Just acknowledge the thought, redirect your focus back to your physical body, your mind, your emotional body. How do you feel? Be in your bodies, be present. That's all I ask of you for the rest of the day. And as always, I thank you for joining me on the mat this morning. I hope you all have a great day. Thank you. Namaste.